Gonzalo Pizarro set off in 1541 to explore east of Quito into the South American interior in search of El Dorado, the City of Gold, and La Canela, the Valley of Cinnamon. He was accompanied by his second-in-command Francisco de Orellana. After 170 kilometers, 106 miles, the Coca River joined the Napo River at a point now known as Puerto Francisco de Orellana. The party stopped for a few weeks to build a boat just upriver from this confluence. They continued downriver through an uninhabited area, where they could not find food. Orellana offered and was ordered to follow the Napo River, then known as Rio de la Canela, Cinnamon River, and return with food for the party, based on intelligence received from a captive native chief named Delacola. They expected to find food within a few days downriver by ascending another river to the north. The Orellana took about 57 men, the boat, and some canoes and left Pizarro's troops on the 26th of December 1541. However, the Orellana missed the confluence, probably with the Aguarico, where he was searching supplies for his men. By the time he and his men reached another village, many of them were sick from hunger and eating noxious plants, and near death. 7 men died in that village. His men threatened to mutiny if the expedition turned back to attempt to rejoin Pizarro. The party being over 100 leagues downstream at this point, he accepted to change the purpose of the expedition to discover new lands in the name of the King of Spain, and the men built a larger boat in which to navigate downstream. After a journey of 600 kilometers, 370 miles, down the Napo River, they reached a further major confluence, at a point near modern Iquitos, and then followed the upper Amazon, now known as the Solimos, for a further 1,200 kilometers, 746 miles, to its confluence with the Rio Negro, near modern Manaus, which they reached on the 3rd of June 1542. Regarding the initial mission of finding cinnamon, Pizarro reported to the king that they had found cinnamon trees, but that they could not be profitably harvested. True cinnamon, Cinnamomum verum, is not native to South America. Other related cinnamon-containing plants, of the family Lauraceae, are fairly common in that part of the Amazon, and Pizarro probably saw some of these. The expedition reached the mouth of the Amazon on the 24th of August 1542, demonstrating the practical navigability of the great river. In 1560, another Spanish conquistador, Lope de Aguirre, may have made the second descent of the Amazon. Historians are uncertain whether the river he descended was the Amazon or the Orinoco River, which runs more or less parallel to the Amazon further north. Portuguese explorer Pedro Teixeira was the first European to travel up the entire river. He arrived in Quito in 1637, and returned via the same route. From 1648 to 1652, Portuguese-Brazilian bandeirante Antonio Raposo Tavares led an expedition from São Paulo overland to the mouth of the Amazon, investigating many of its tributaries, including the Rio Negro, and covering a distance of over 10,000 kilometers, 6,200 miles, in what is currently in Brazil, Ecuador, Bolivia, Colombia, Peru, and Venezuela. Several colonial and religious settlements were established along the banks of primary rivers and tributaries for trade, slaving, and evangelization among the indigenous peoples of the vast rainforest, such as the Urarina. In the late 1600s, Czech Jesuit Father Samuel Fritz, an apostle of the Omegas, established some 40 mission villages. Fritz proposed that the Maranon River must be the source of the Amazon, noting on his 1707 map that the Maranon has its source on the southern shore of a lake that is called Loricacha, near Huánuco. Fritz reasoned that the Maranon is the largest river branch one encounters when journeying upstream, and lies farther to the west than any other tributary of the Amazon. For most of the 18th–19th centuries and into the 20th century, the Maranon was generally considered the source of the Amazon.